Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be testing out some new makeup from Wet n Wild. I was shopping online, bored here in quarantine on Target, and I added some new things that I saw Wet n Wild came out with to my cart. I'm not sure how brand new these things are, but they are new to me. I haven't really seen them anywhere or tried them out. You guys know I love finding great affordable products, and especially Wet n Wild. They are such an affordable brand and rarely anything from them lets me down. There have been a couple things in the past that I didn't like, but more often than not, I love what Wet n Wild comes out with, and all of their stuff is at a great price. So I have 6 new things I'm going to be testing out for you guys today. As you can see, my brows and my eyes are already done, so we have a couple of face products as well as a couple of lip products to test out from Wet n Wild. So I really hope that you guys enjoy seeing this video, and if you want to see if these new Wet n Wild products are any good and what I think of them, make sure to keep on watching. All right, my hair is back. We are going to start off with the face. I am so excited for this first product I have here because I have heard great things about this. This is Wet n Wild's Prime Focus Hydrating Primer Serum, and it says that this is a hydrating water-based serum formulated with rose water and green tea extract, refines and nourishes as it preps and primes skin for extended makeup wear. So I've never tried anything like this. Whenever I try a primer that's hydrating, I've always tried something more lotiony, or of course you guys know I love the e.l.f. Putty Primer, something just with a little bit more like a thicker consistency. I've never used like a serum primer, so I hope it's good. I hope my skin loves it. You guys do know I have had some reactions in the past to some face products. On Target's website, this retails for $6.99. It's usually $7.99 elsewhere if you get it on like Ulta or Wet n Wild website, but for being only $6.99, $7.99, this is an amazing bottle. I don't know if you guys can hear near my microphone, it feels glass. It also does have a really nice dropper. I believe it's glass unless it's like a really nice acrylic or like hard plastic, but it has a nice weight to it. In here you are getting 30 milliliters or 1 fluid ounce of product, which is pretty standard for a face product, either primer or foundation. 1 fluid ounce is pretty typical. So let's go ahead and apply this. I don't know how much of this to use, honestly. I've never used something like this before, but I am gonna go ahead and drop it on my hands because I know putting the dropper on your face is not that sanitary. Ooh, it smells nice. You definitely smell the rose and the green tea coming through in the scent. I smell both of them. It's a very thin, liquidy formula. I'm gonna just take a little bit more to put some on my forehead as well. So analyzing my skin after applying the primer, I have to say I think it looks really pretty. I don't know if you guys can see. I think you can. The luminous sheen coming through, my skin feels hydrated. It felt really nice going on. It was just like a really nice consistency, and as it's drying down, I do feel it getting a little bit tacky. I was almost nervous that this was going to be too hydrating and serum-y to the point where it would be a little bit slippery for foundation, but I mean, my fingers aren't sticking to it, but it does have a nice tack to it. I guess my only concern would be that my pores don't look like they were filled at all, and it doesn't really look like it smoothed over any texture. It really just looks like all it did was hydrate the skin, which it looks beautiful. It is very lively and luminous, but you can see like pores or any like imperfections with texture. So I would probably have to say in the future I might go in with a smoothing primer, but for the purpose of today's video, just to see how this looks, I'm just going to leave it by itself. But I have a feeling this is going to be something that I'll like a lot combined with other primers, but so far not bad. It smells good and it feels really nice on the skin as well. Now we are going to jump into some foundation to see how it applies on top of the hydrating primer serum. To apply my foundation today, I'm so excited for this as well. I have the Wet n Wild makeup sponge. I believe this is just called their makeup sponge. Yeah, this was $5, maybe $4 on Target's website. You guys know I love inexpensive sponges. I do not believe in expensive sponges at all. They've just never lived up to the hype that they get. I've tried beauty blenders and I think it's just so average for spending $20 on it. I love the e.l.f. sponge, the L'Oreal sponge, so I'm hoping I'll like this Wet n Wild one. I just love testing out a bunch of affordable sponges. sponges. Oh my gosh, you guys, first impression, this sponge is so tiny and cute, just in comparison to my very dirty e.l.f. Total Face Sponge right now, which is my favorite sponge. Also very affordable, around $5. Even just dry, the Wet n Wild sponge is so much tinier, but I would say they feel very similar in density and like squishiness. They feel very similar. Maybe the Wet n Wild is a little bit more dense, but it also is brand new, whereas the e.l.f. one I've been using for a couple of weeks now. So I'm gonna wet the Wet n Wild one under the sink and let's see how much it expands and what it feels like and stuff like that. So here's what these sponges looking like wet. I have a good feeling about this, you guys. I feel like I'm going to like it just because of how squishy it is and just how soft it is. I love the hot pink color, and it's a really great egg shape with the flat edge, which would be amazing for under the eyes. My foundation for today is going to be the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation in the shade 118 Light Beige, and I'm very curious to see how this is going to react with the serum primer, just because I've never used something like that underneath this foundation, or really any foundation. So what side do I want to use? Should I use this side on my face? Yeah, I think I'm gonna use the rounded side. So usually with my sponges and the way I apply my foundation, I usually just squirt the foundation right on the sponge and then just start dotting it directly on the face. And wow, it's really not absorbing a lot of product. It looks like it's sitting on the exterior. Wow. I'm like still spreading it just from the exterior of the sponge. Barely any of it got soaked up, and I only used about a pump and a half. Ooh, I think I might have another favorite sponge, you guys. It's so soft and bouncy on the skin, and it's blending out the foundation effortlessly. And it's like all that product is sitting on the outside. Like if I rub this on the back of my hand, the product is coming off. It's not soaked inside of the sponge. Let's test out the sponge with the concealer under my eyes. I'm going to be using the Hydrating Camo Concealer from e.l.f. I have been talking about this like crazy here on my channel. I am just obsessed with it. It is such a great affordable concealer. I'm always so heavy-handed with my concealer. I know it is such a bad habit, but I'm going to use the flat side of the sponge here to see if I would like that any better for under the eye, and to see how it blends out the product. It helps get that very sharp edge for your eyeshadow. I think I still prefer the rounded egg-shaped side for under the eye. I feel like it could just get a little bit closer to the eye than the flat side can. But I feel like, again, same with the foundation, the product is going a lot farther, like spreading a lot farther than it usually does with other sponges. I usually use a lot of concealer to almost like compensate for the fact that this sponge is bound to soak some up, kind of take away some of the product. And I actually feel like today I might have put too much concealer on because the sponge is not like taking any of that extra product away. Again, you guys, concealer application was easy peasy. I am obsessing over this sponge. I definitely did prefer the rounded side, as I mentioned, opposed to the flat side for concealer. I just like to be able to push and roll the product into my skin. I felt that the flat side was just a little too flat. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys. I am obsessing over my skin today, you guys, so I am just gonna go ahead and set it with powder. I am also going to apply bronzer and then come back to test out a new blush and highlighter, so I'll be right back. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be testing out from Wet n Wild is actually something that I have tested out from them in the past. It is just repackaged, so I was really curious to see if it could be any different, and that is their Color Icon blushes. I love the new packaging of these. I'm sure maybe some of you guys will recognize the Color Icon blushes as this. This is an older one that I have in my collection. I absolutely love the repackaged blush. They have the same weight. They're kind of made out of that same like cheap plasticky material that Wet n Wild cheek products come in, but it just feels a lot nicer in this circle. And there's also a lot less wasted space because the older one came with those little brushes that literally nobody used. If these are the same formula as the classic color icon blushes, then I know I already like these. The new shade that I picked out is in the shade Mellow Wine, which is one of their classic shades I've heard of for years, and it's this really pretty warm deep nude shade. I'm going to be applying it with the Wet n Wild blush brush, which if you guys haven't tried Wet n Wild brushes, they're really great. They have face brushes, eye brushes, and I saw them all on Target's website the other day for like 50 cents to $1 each, even for some of their larger brushes. So I'm just going to dip into this. These are pretty pigmented from what I remember. Ooh, these are so pretty, these blushes. I really love this color of blush. It's like a beautiful, warm, deep nude, and you guys know I don't like very pink or anything too vibrant on my cheeks. So just to add a little bit of color, it looks subtle, but something at the same time. It's just a really perfect blush shade for me. Last but not least for the face today, I'm going to be trying out their Hello Halo blush lighter. I had never seen these before, and these looked so intriguing to me on the website. You guys know I love a good highlighter, especially a drugstore one. I find that they're hard to come by. Wet n Wild's original highlighters, their Mega Glow highlighting powders, are my absolute favorite highlighters from the drugstore, if not some of my absolute favorite highlighters from all time. So when I saw that Wet n Wild came out with more highlighters, I was so excited about it and knew I had to try it. So I'm doing some swatches of the blush lighter right now, trying to decide if I want to go ahead and go in with the blush just because I have some blush on already. It looks like more of a blush topper from the looks of it. If you guys can see the swatches on my hand, those are some gorgeous shades. The blush topper is like a really beautiful peachy coral, and then the highlighter looks like a really nice light champagne gold. So I think I'm just gonna take maybe a little bit of the blush topper. I don't know how much it's going to show up on top of the other blush. Maybe it'll just add a little bit of luminosity to my cheeks, but I have a feeling I'll probably have to test this out separately another day so you could really see it. I see it a little bit on top of the blush. I think it made it a little bit more bright, and I also see like the sheen of it. That's really pretty. It's just like a classic blush topper, but I am most excited to go in with the highlight. Let's see what this highlighter is all about, you guys. Dipping into it, it picks up a lot of product on the brush. So I'm just gonna go in and start on the top of my cheekbone and see, ooh, what this is all about. It's definitely pulling more icy on my skin than I thought it would be compared to how it swatches in the pan. Ooh, she's bright. That's so pretty. Oh my goodness. Wow, you guys, this is really, really bright and intense. I have to say, although it is pretty, I think this is a highlighter for those of you that like your highlighter to look like a highlighter. I think if you are looking for more of that natural glow from within, more of a subtle sheen, this is not it. This is definitely more of an intense highlighter. I also feel like it is tending to emphasize a little bit of the texture on my face, and I always contribute that to the product having a little bit more of a dry formula, whereas when a product is a little bit more creamy, not as dry and powdery, it doesn't emphasize as much and it looks more natural on the skin. But if you guys like a very beaming highlighter, I believe this was only like $5, $6 for the whole thing. I will have all of these links down below if you guys want to shop. It is very, very intense, and it is beautiful for a more glam makeup day. I think lately I've just been used to more of a subtle glow, so it's a lot. But I'm going to finish up highlighting like my nose. Oh, that looks pretty on my nose. I used a little bit less and kind of fluffed it on lighter. It looks pretty nice on the nose. It is really pretty, you guys, but it definitely is one of those highlighters that emphasizes some texture on the skin. I picked up two different lip products from Wet n Wild, the first one being something I've never seen before, and this is their Mega Last Stained Glass Lip Gloss. I picked this one in the shade Heart Shattering, which is a bright berry shade. A lot of these shades that they had in this weren't typical shades that I would wear. They didn't have any nudes. They had like red, oranges, pinks, and berries. So this was the closest to one that I thought I would end up wearing. But before I go ahead and try out the lip gloss, because I just tried to wipe it off and it totally stained the back of my hand, I'm going to test out the other lipsticks that I purchased from Wet n Wild, because I don't want the staining to be on my lips and kind of ruin the lipsticks. So these are their classic Mega Last lipstick. They're like $1.99, $2.99 lipsticks that are so inexpensive. Again, this is a product that I have tried before that is just repackaged, but I'm also not sure if they were like reformulated or anything. So I figured I would try it again. This is what the old lipstick looks like. If you guys can see, this is what they looked like, and I was so excited to see that they repackaged them. So I picked up my all-time favorite shade that I have in the old one, which is the shade Bare It All. That shade is almost a perfect dupe for MAC Velvet Teddy. So I picked up that shade again, but I have to show you guys first before I open these up the repackaging. I don't know how Wet n Wild is still selling these for $1.99. Like, they made the packaging so much more beautiful, yet they didn't up the price or anything. Like, how cute are these with the little lips? Ooh, these feel a little bit more creamy than the original formula. So that is Bare It All right there. Again, a really great dupe for MAC Velvet Teddy, one of my favorite classic nude shades. And then I figured I would try another shade, of course, another nude, because we know me, I don't wear anything else on my lips. And this one is in the shade Skinny Dipping. Ooh, that's beautiful. That's that one right here. It almost looks like it's a little bit more of a true cool tone nude. It doesn't seem to have any like peachiness in it. So again, this is the Stained Glass Heart Shattering Lip Gloss, Bare It All lipstick, and Skinny Dipping lipstick. So I'm excited to put these on. Since I've already worn Bare It All here on my channel, I think I'm going to go in with Skinny Dipping to see how that one looks on my lips and to show you guys. Here's what the shade Skinny Dipping is looking like. This is a really true like pinky nude. As I said, I don't see any peachiness or anything. It is looking a little bit dry on my lips, but I really didn't have like any chapstick, or I didn't exfoliate my lips, but it still is very comfortable. It's really creamy. I would just maybe put a little chapstick or exfoliate your lips a little bit, but I love this color. It's definitely a little bit different than what I go for. It's a little bit more on the cool tone side of nude. I literally don't know how they sell these for like $1.99 because they're so good. They come in so many different colors, and this packaging though, you guys, this packaging is gorgeous. Wet n Wild is really stepping it up. Lastly, now I'm going to try on the Mega Last Stained Glass Lip Gloss. Again, this is in the shade Heart Shattering. So I believe this is like a lip gloss like it says, but then when it kind of loses its sheen and dries down a little bit, it is going to become more of a lip stain. As you guys can see, that is not budging. So I don't know how I'm going to get this lipstick off at the end of the day. I'm doing this for you guys. I don't know how this color is gonna look either, so let's just go ahead and do it. Oh, that's very cold on the lips. My thoughts on this stained glass lip gloss, I don't know, it feels really weird on my lips, to be honest with you. Like, it's very cold and slippery feeling. The color's not bad. I think the color is cute. It's a little bit more pinky berry toned in person than I think it's pulling on camera. It looks a little red, at least in my viewfinder. I don't know, it's just not the type of lip product that I like. I feel like I either like a lipstick or a lip gloss. I feel like this is a very weird combination of trying to be both, and it just does not feel good on my lips at all. It's a little streaky, it looks a little bit uneven, and I am just not really liking it too much. It's not horrible, I just think it's different and really interesting. I guess it would be one of those things where we'd have to see how it would wear, so maybe I'll have to update you guys in a future video or something like that, or maybe in the description box down below, because I am curious to see how this wears, if it's going to like kind of dry down and leave a stain on my lips. So I will definitely keep you guys posted on actually all of the products that I used. I will write it in the description box down below or leave it it in a pinned comment. So definitely check it out. But so far, this is the one product that I tried today that I'm probably the least enthusiastic about. It's just, again, different from lip colors that I wear and lip products that I typically like. All right, you guys, so that is going to complete this video. That was me testing out some new Wet n Wild makeup. As expected, I really loved a lot of these products. As I mentioned in the intro, it is really rare that Wet n Wild lets me down. They have a few times. I believe the last product that I tried from Wet n Wild that I didn't love was their Dewy Foundation. That just didn't really do it for me, but other than that, Wet n Wild is usually a huge hit for me, and I think we had a lot of hits in this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed seeing this video and spending time with me today. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel before you leave. I would love to have you guys here as part of my little YouTube fam. If you don't want to miss out on any of my future videos, click that notification bell down below and you'll get notified every single time that I upload a new video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye, guys!